This is Jessica from Latitude Law, and today I'm going to be talking about making a marriage visit visa application. So for those looking to come to the UK to get married have two options. They can either make an application for what's called a fiancé visa or for a marriage visit visa. This video is going to look at the option of a marriage visit visa. If you wanted information about a fiancé visa, then have a look at our website where there's details about that option. So as an introduction, a marriage visit visa is for those looking to come to the UK for the purposes of marrying or entering into a civil partnership and giving notice to do this. Because this is a visit visa, this application is only suitable for those who are looking to leave the UK after the marriage or civil partnership ceremony is completed. For those looking to marry then stay in the UK long term, they may wish instead to consider the fiancé route. Just a couple of initial points. When I refer to marriage in this video, this also applies to civil partnership. Just as well, to explain the term giving notice, for people who aren't aware, this is a legal formality which is required in the UK before you're able to enter into a marriage. You can't marry or give notice to marry whilst you're in the UK on a standard visit visa or having entered as a non-visa national or using electronic travel authorisation. This means you will first have to apply for and be granted a marriage visit visa to then come to the UK and first give notice, then marry during the visa's validity. So I'll now have a look at the requirements of a marriage visit visa. So you would firstly need to show that your genuine purpose for coming to the UK is to give notice and marry during the time in the UK. You should provide evidence of this, such as an appointment booking at a register office to give notice, a wedding ceremony booking, or payments for other expenses relating to the wedding. You would also need to provide relationship evidence, as the entry clearance officer will need to be satisfied that your relationship with the person you wish to marry is a genuine one. This could take the form of travel to see one another in each other's countries, cohabitation evidence if you've ever lived together, photos together, WhatsApp transcripts, or letters or cards exchanged with each other. If the person you intend to marry is living in the UK, you could also provide a letter from them confirming their intention to marry and that the relationship is a genuine one, and also that the applicant is going to stay with them whilst in the UK if that's applicable. You would also need to show you're both free to marry. So if one of you's been married before, you'd want to provide a decree absolute or equivalent. Okay, so just having a look at another requirement, you would also need to show that you're a genuine visitor, so that you don't intend to remain in the UK after the validity of your visa and that you will return to your home country at the end of a trip. This can be shown with evidence of strong ties to an applicant's home country, such as evidence of dependent family members there, a job that they're expected to return to, home ownership, and strong financial evidence. An applicant would also need to show that there will be sufficient funds available to them during their time in the UK, and this includes being able to afford the return trip to their home country at the end of their visit. These funds can either be the applicant's own, or it can be a person with a genuine connection to the applicant who is going to contribute towards their trip. Either way, they will need to provide evidence of that person's financial position, so whether it's the applicant or another person, including bank statements for the last 6 months and their pay slips, if that's applicable. The applicant should also provide evidence of where they'll be staying in the UK. So for example, if this is going to be with their intended spouse, then they could provide a letter from that person confirming that. There's also a suitability assessment, and that looks at things like previous convictions or previous negative immigration history. If a visa is granted, you will then need to come to the UK and give notice to marry at least 29 days before the ceremony. The applicant will need to have been living in the area where they give notice for at least 7 days before the appointment to give notice. So as you can see, timings are really important with this type of application. If you have any more questions about applying for a marriage visit visa, please do contact Latitude Law to discuss this. Thanks.